buckle up. It is going to get wild. This is a sad day for America. This is sad for the world, frankly. But the Democrats brought this on, just like they brought it all on. Remember, don't forget, who came up with stole an election? Remember that one. 2016, it was Russia, Russia, Russia. Russia stole the election with Donald Trump. It was all some kind of collusion. Only it turned out that wasn't. Remember how there was that apparently really despicable tape out there that the Russians had on Donald Trump? Oh, that was all made up too. But opposition research was fake by Hillary Clinton's campaign. And now what are they doing? This is the same crew, by the way, to tell you that Hunter Biden's laptop wasn't real. 51 ex-spooks, including the deputy director of the CIA and the former head of the CIA, coming out telling you, oh, nothing to see here. Shutting down people's Twitter. Turns out that was all false too. I mean, the lies just keep on coming and coming and coming and coming. And they say, you should be scared because Donald Trump is going to weaponize the government. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, what did we just see other than a full-on weaponization of our government for political purposes? Indeed, this is law. Indeed, this was strategic. The timing was absolutely not a coincidence. After all, you can't even go and appeal it now in time ahead of the election. And what do you think this is about? Oh, sentencing is scheduled for July 11th, just days before the GOP primary. How lovely that is. Donald Trump out speaking just months ago. Let's listen in.
The whole thing is legal expense was marked down as legal expense. Think of it. This is the crime that I committed, that I'm supposed to go to jail for 187 years for. When you have violent crime all over this city at levels that nobody's ever seen before, where you have businesses leaving, and businesses are leaving because of this, because heads of businesses say, man, we don't want to get involved with that. I could go through the books of any business person in this city, and I could find things that in theory, I guess, let's indict him, let's destroy his life. But I'm out there, and I don't mind being out there because I'm doing something for this country, and I'm doing something for our Constitution. It's very important, far beyond me. And this can't be allowed to happen to other presidents. It should never be allowed to happen in the future. But
bingo, he's right. He's right. It should not be happening. This is Banana Republic kind of stuff. I can't believe we're witnessing this in real time. We are on the front, and this was a very bad move by the Democrats because they have unleashed, one, a ton of support for Donald Trump, and two, a willingness to take this battle forward. In other words, two can play this game. It takes two to tango. The GOP had been nice. I once asked former President Trump, and he explained, well, you know, like she was the former president's wife, she was a candidate, etc. He was playing Mr. Nice Guy. They're not. So the gloves are now off. And the GOP is ready, willing, and able to do what is necessary to protect our Constitution, protect the American people, and protect us from this ruthlessness of using the law in such a strategic go after your competitor. It's sort of mind-blowing. It's disappointing that we have come to this. But I can tell you that we have not the worst of it. Because at this point in time, what everyone is doing in the Republican Party, outside of maybe Nikki Haley, we'll get to that in a minute, is they're lawyering up big time. Gotta pass. Hillary Clinton, I'm looking at you. Hunter Biden. Joe Biden. I'm looking at every single person that has gotten passed in the past. It's over. You're now fair game. You're right. Hunter's going to trial, for that gun charge. Illegal possession of a gun charge, not to mention the drugs and everything. We're going to get into all of that. We have to get into that. You guys went there. Prepared for the aftermath, the legal aftermath. Let me be very clear. I'm not talking about violence in the streets. About the Democrats needing to be prepared legally. Make no mistake. What is happening right now is a very, very politicized vendetta against Donald Trump. The left is using everything in its toolbook to go after the former president. They got a candidate that can't win an election, so what do? They attack with every legal means they can come up with. I mean, this indeed was a setup. Don't think for one second that the timing of this was not intentional and deliberate. You're taking stuff from 2015, 2017, and you're resurfacing it now in 2024. After Donald Trump declared that he would be running, after it was very clear that he's probably going to win this election, all things being equal. I'll tell you what. Ladies and gentlemen, the beast has been unleashed. The GOP is taking off the gloves. And things are about to get really dicey. Politically, legally. I want to be very clear. I'm not talking about violence. I am talking about the need for conservatives to stand up for themselves in the court of law. Because there's a whole lot of stuff that's happened and we've all looked the other way, right? That's what keeps happening. That's about to change massively. When you think about all the people that might be vulnerable right now, I'm looking at you, Hunter. I'm looking at you, Hillary Clinton, Loretta Lynch, Barack Obama, and yes, Joe Biden. Because now everything is up for grabs. You see, there was a system before, and they changed that. They broke the system. This is the Pandora's box. They pushed things over the edge. I thought they did it back in 2016 when you had Hillary Clinton saying it was Russia, Russia, Russia. You had Jimmy Carter, the former president of the United States, saying that he didn't consider Donald Trump a legitimate president because he was only there because of the help of Russia. I mean, this is the stuff that they were making up. Not to mention the so-called dossier that they made up that we then wasted years on investigating, only to find out, guess what? It was bought and paid for by the opposition research team for Hillary Clinton. All fake, all deliberate, all political. So two can play that game. We'd rather they not. Of course, we'd rather have a civil society where we treat each other and candidates on the other side with respect. But maybe that went out the window with the Clintons long ago. Barack Obama, the ultimate politician who used demographics deliberately and politically to his advantage in ways that didn't bring us together, but drove us increasingly apart. They are so scared of Donald Trump right now winning this election that they had to do this. The timing, not a coincidence. I mean, you had 3 years, right, to do this. Why would you bring this now? In all seriousness, why would you bring these charges forward now, other than you're trying to trip them up before the convention? Think about this. The sentencing, ladies and gentlemen, is expected to happen on July 11th. Oh, you get the GOP convention happening just a couple days later. What do you know? I mean, it's stunning. Here's the good news. The GOP got the wake-up call it needed to fight fire with fire. And President Trump is very willing to take this on. Here he was moments ago. I want to go to former President Trump saying, look, this should not be happening to me or anyone else.
The whole thing is legal expense was marked down as legal expense. Think of it. This is the crime that I committed, that I'm supposed to go to jail for 187 years for. When you have violent crime all over this city at levels that nobody's ever seen before, where you have businesses leaving, and businesses are leaving because of this, because heads of businesses say, man, we don't want to get involved with that. I could go through the books of any business person in this city, and I could find things that, in theory, I guess, let's indict him, let's destroy his life. But I'm out there, and I don't mind being out there because I'm doing something for this country, and I'm doing something for our Constitution. It's very important, far beyond me. And this can't be allowed to happen to other presidents. It should never be allowed to happen in the future.
He's right. It should not happen. It never should have happened. They went down this path. I told you guys before. I asked him, point blank, Mr. President, why didn't you go after Hillary Clinton? He said, you know what, Trish? She was the wife of a former president. She was a former candidate against me. It didn't feel very American. Well, guess what? He might have had some class. He might have played some rules on that front, but not them. And so now they know. Oh, they know. If he's back in office, those gloves are off. And in the meantime, the gloves are off. I'd be really worried if I were Hillary Clinton, if I were Hunter Biden, if I were Joe Biden, Loretta Lynch, Barack Obama, James Comey. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And the reality is, how are you going to stop this? I mean, they're trying to railroad you. So the only thing you can do, perhaps in this case, is to push back, legally speaking, with all you got. We need investigators. We need hearings. We need lawyers. We need a court of law. And you know what really bugs them? The Supreme Court's not on their side, right? That's why they're trying to take Alito down. They're trying to make sure that he recuses himself. He's like, no, way. My words, not his.